How does it feel to be on your dad's podcast?
It feels awesome. Feels great.
It's kind of our podcast.
Yeah. Well, and in some cases I'm here, but I'm not here. You know?
Yeah, you're behind the scenes.
I'm behind the scenes.
Yep.
So I guess it's not as weird.
Yeah. How does it feel right now? Is it a little nerve-wracking? A little nervous?
I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah. So I was on my way home, and I was thinking, God, I got to talk to Dakota into doing a fucking podcast. We didn't knock one out. So I'm not going to have a chance to be out of town for a week.
I've been waiting for
Well, then I was like, I could feel it. I could feel it start to burn a little bit. And I thought, I suppose that's a good feeling. I mean, if I didn't feel anything, what's the point in doing it?
Right.
So anticipation, anxiety. I think for me, it's always, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to talk about. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, which is exactly the way I like it.
Right. Well, and I think that's the same way that I think about it. I've been actually not really anxious, but I've been excited for you to ask, because I didn't want to just be like, Dad, I'm going to be on the podcast next. Like, you know, I wanted you to be, you know.
Well, it's too early. Like,
yeah.
I wasn't wanting to showcase you this early.
Right.
I was wanting to save it. Like, I just thought it would have been really cool. Like, in my mind, I was thinking, episode 10.
Yeah,
it's like going to be you. You know what I mean? Get a few under our belt. But then I thought, this is stupid. Let's just fucking do it.
Well, and I would like to be on, you know, like more often. You know,
I don't have
occasionally.
I realized I don't really have a long list of people dying to get on.
Guests
I'm out here begging. I'm like the dude on the corner, right? We'll podcast for food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I realized. I mean, I have a handful of people. I have a lot of people that I probably wouldn't want to be on. Like, that's a long fucking list. Damn, I shouldn't say that. You don't know who you are.
Well, I think too it's a little bit different for me because I got to see the initial start of this, and then you're also my dad, and we have these conversations anyway. But now it's just online.
Yeah, I guess they know who my guest is today. My third guest, episode 4. Would you like to introduce yourself, or would you like me to do it? I mean, they know you're my son.
Yeah.
You're my oldest son. I'll introduce you. His name is Dakota Carroll. He's my oldest son, 23 years old.
Yeah.
And he's kind of the guy that keeps me straight. And
I mean,
I turn to him when I'm lost, right?
I would say, yeah. Well, and I also turn to you when I'm lost.
Yeah,
you know,
well, we're a good team.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole family's like that. We turn to each other.
Right.
But most of the time when I'm like, fuck, when I need someone to depend on, I always go to you. Now, I will tell you, Landon and I were talking today. He was doing his math homework. And I said, dude, you're such a reliable dude. He's 12, by the way. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you don't know what it means? Because everything here is educational. Everything we do, somehow, if you're going to be a homeschool parent, everything's an education. So I was like, well, what does the root word mean? You know, rely. Well, it means, you know, basically you said you can depend on. I was like, yeah. So anyway, I know I got sidetracked. But I was like, you're such a reliable dude. I feel like I can always depend on you, no matter what. I never have to worry about whether or not you're going to do what I asked you to do or whatever. But I think ultimately that's my whole family. You know, everybody here is pretty reliable. Rarely do I ever have to get in people's asses. And when I do, I'm really pissed off because I don't like being a dick. You know?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's really nice because he's, in Landon's case, he's so young and he's showing these signs, you know? And I think
he learned from y'all, though.
Well, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Because there was times growing up that I may have not been as reliable.
Plenty of times.
You know? And that's just all of us.
Well, neither was I. I wasn't a very reliable
Exactly.
parent. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Right. So, but I think it worked out because he's just so naturally that, just because that's what he's grown up in, is being honest and reliable. And
his biggest fear out of everything, he doesn't want to disappoint. And that's really like everyone's fear. It's my fear in life. I don't want to. I'm more scared of disappointing the people that I love and respect. And let's just call it respect. But deep down, it's love for me, too. Not necessarily family love, but like, I don't want to get it. The people that I truly respect, like, fuck, I'll lose sleep over whether or not I can achieve a level of, I want to be sure that I can follow through. You get what I'm saying? I'm kind of lost for words right now. But
it's very genuine. It's a very genuine, it's not a, there's no other motive of why you're doing this, or if you have a tremendous respect for these people. And I think our whole family has tremendous respect for each other. And it really stems down from that respect and love that.
I would argue there's a motive, though. There's always a motive, but for me, I think I just accept the fact that the motive is to be appreciated by the person I respect.
Right. Well, maybe it's not like a sinister motive. It's more of like a, like we had this conversation earlier, the gratitude, that
to be loved.
Is it's a great feeling. You know,
it's all that matters in the end.
Mm-hmm.
To be loved. No, I'm sorry. What is that from? Eddie Murphy, Coming to America. So, anyways, okay. I guess we're into the podcast.
I think so.
I thought we were going to kind of bullshit back and forth for a minute, see if we could get in the groove. Because I said you need to come up with something to talk about.
No.
And you're like, oh, we never do that. And I'm like, you're right, I know, but me not wanting to have dead air time, I thought, well, if you had some ideas or questions or whatever. Anyways, you're right. We went right into it.
Yeah. We feed off of each other. It's just that initial, the initial start. But once we can get it doesn't even matter what, it could be about one thing or McDonald's chicken nuggets. We'll, and that's just
about that, but
yeah.
But yeah, you're right. One thing leads to another. It's amazing how far it can go from a McDonald's chicken nugget to these abstract rabbit hole ideas.
That's philosophies.
It's always it always falls back on some kind of philosophy, some kind of a deeper trying to understand. Yeah, we're just weird like that. We just want to understand why.
Yeah, and I think we get excited.
Yeah,
because it's really an exploration of ideas.
That was an appropriate description, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Random Thoughts was a good name. It kind of come natural,
right?
And an exploration of ideas, because I don't want anybody to take me seriously. Like, we're just here, rednecks. Not really so much redneck. Could be perceived as one, but just some hillbillies with some
I don't know,
with some unusual ideas. I'm a redneck philosopher.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm kidding.
I think that it's these philosophies that you're discovering, and it's something that everybody deep down is trying to discover, but they just don't know. It's very subconscious. It's a very subconscious thing of people do things and they don't know why, or why do they feel like this, or and I think it's nice because you put it in such a perspective that most people could understand. You present it in a package that people can understand, and they're intrigued, and then it's nice because they learn more about themselves. It's all about, I don't know if it's enlightenment. I don't know if that's the term, but
self-discovery.
Yeah. And I think that's being, like we were saying, vulnerable, letting people understand that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to feel what you're feeling, because a lot of people don't want to feel a certain way, and don't want, they why is this happening to me? Why do I feel like this? And you've always taught me and told me growing up that it's completely normal. That was the biggest thing. Whenever I would be going through something or confused and I would ask for your advice, it was always, first thing, it's completely normal that you're experiencing this. And that would,
important.
It's important. And I think that's what drove me to really dive deeper as I grew up and understand that I'll have bad days, but it's not like how I used to think about them. I would used to be like, why is this happening to me, and get upset and very emotional. But now I can almost connect and understand tomorrow's another day. This is a lesson. What path can I go down differently? That's what keeps me really moving forward and excited about life, truly, because once you start going less external, in your thoughts or what you're wanting, and you start understanding that you're on this journey, like external things, like
other people's opinions.
It could be other people's opinions, or putting your happiness into this new car you buy, or these items.
Oh,
and
you're
stuff.
talking about quick highs
And stuff like that.
Something we just had a conversation.
We just had a conversation about this, and it's more of like, how can I go through life and have the most happiness? And I think the self-discovery is a consistent, like you were saying, dopamine hits, these happiness hits every day. If you learn that you're going to have days you're not going to know what to do in this situation, or you're going to go through an experience that it really sucks, but it's normal, and you feeling these feelings.
More than just being normal, I like to reiterate with it's important.
Very important. Because it's going to ultimately get you to wherever you want to go.
Focus. So roll over this way. Yep. Am I breathing in the mic? Sorry. I'll leave the mic here until it's my turn to talk. I did interrupt, and I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
How's the cameraman doing?
You good?
Okay, so I definitely...
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
There's a lot of good parts.
If it's no good, it's not his fault or mine. No, I'm just kidding, Brendan. He's doing fine. It's his first time. We literally asked him 15 minutes ago, hey, would you run the switchboard thing?
Be the producer. What's
yeah,
that?
you're producer.
What's happening?
I was saying, we asked him 15 minutes ago
to
manage this thing. So you said a lot, and I had several things. Man, I swear, somebody could say just about anything, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll take me down hours of... And I realize that's my biggest problem. I don't know. Eventually, if we keep doing this, over time, we will go down all the rabbit holes. They don't all have to be in every conversation.
Yeah.
And I have a bad habit of someone saying something as simple as you saying you were told that it was normal, and then I say, and important.
Yeah.
I say that because, like, that was a rabbit hole that I want to just race down.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to say things without being offensive. So I like to take credit for my failures. I like to talk about where I went wrong.
Yeah.
Because I know most people can relate to that. It's about, I think the whole point of this is about being relatable. But when I was saying it was important, and I may have lost my train of thought, but you were talking about feeling lost, right? And I would say it's normal. I think, and when I say it's also important, it's because I remember being a kid and thinking my parents knew everything.
Yeah.
Thinking that every adult was, hey, they got the answer. Whatever they said was the gospel. Yeah. Or a teacher. But people we admired. Or I don't even know if we admired them, but
looked up. I mean, looked up to.
Yeah.
I would say
they were not an influencer. What is the word I'm looking for? Like an authoritarian. Not even authoritarian. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Not even superiors, but yes, yeah.
So, because I realized as I got older, adults are terrified to tell a kid, I don't know. I mean, they really are. An adult will lie to a kid so fast. It's really incredible. And we could go down a dozen different holes right there to explain why, but I think I want to take the mystery out of, and don't get me wrong, I love mystery. I love magic. I don't want anybody to tell me a magic trick, but when it comes to life, man, it shouldn't be a fucking magic trick. Right. It should be like, okay, as I want a parent that would look at me, or an adult, and I guess I had really, really good parents. I don't think they bullshitted me intentionally. I think that just people it's their nature to bullshit because they were bullshitted too. It's this fucking shitty cycle we have of adults talking to kids, and everybody's just bullshitting. Everybody's full of shit, is what I'm trying to say. I just want to say that I kind of want to tell the kids or everybody, I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's go find out. Like, I don't know the answer, but fuck me, we can go figure it out together. Because by telling you I don't know means it's important for you to understand. I don't know shit, man. I'm just trying to figure it out. And if that makes any sense at all, I know it's a very shitty, ambiguous way of
No.
describing that, but
I understand it because it all stems down to relatability.
well, also I felt more confident when someone would say, "I don't know."
Mm-hmm.
I thought, "Oh, he don't know. I thought this mother knew it all."
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it gave me hope that okay, it's within my grasp.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to the in my experience in that, you know, because I went through the same thing, being relatable to these figures, you know, that's where it made me feel best when I realized that I had these crazy ideas when I was young, and I used to think, you know, if an adult or someone of that stature, believing at that time that they, you know, knew everything, if they would say, you know, you're too young to, you know, to think of these ideas of business or anything like that, I would believe them. You know,
Yeah.
you would almost be like, oh, they're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a really valuable. I think you really described best what I was trying to say. Like, adults are dream killers, man. They really
yeah.
are.
Right.
I mean, listen, if your kid can't sing, tell them you kind of suck. I'm not saying stop. I'm saying might not be for you, but hey, did you ever think about painting or, you know, or drums or,
Yeah.
you know, there's an infinite amount of possibilities.
And even as harsh as that may sound, it's a lot better than just going, no, you can't. You're too young, or you need to be doing something, or whatever the parent wants.
Well,
You're supposed to be this. You can't go down that path. And that really, I really think that affects the confidence of a lot of
100%.
young people, because they go through and they think that they're not capable of doing anything because they can't do the thing that they love, because the thing that they love to do, they had these adults saying, no, that's the wrong path. And it's like, why would they even try anything else? You know, like like we say, make mistakes. They won't, and then they get stuck. And it's really just,
I've got to get a board behind me that says, don't forget to talk. I had like 4 different things I could have talked about, but instead of talking about the things that kind of got me excited and I really wanted to go, I thought maybe we could go back and say, well, I feel like, I don't think we're complaining, but I think things are a complaint when you don't offer a reason or a possibility on why this may be. So I just wanted to ask your opinion on why you believe parents or adults, why is this the normal? Why, like as far as I can look back in civilization, you know, in recorded history, it seems to be a trend. Maybe we're getting better, but you know what I'm trying to say is why do you think that parents are dream killers? Why do you think that parents or adults try to steer a child down a path? I mean, I think there's a bunch of reasons, but give me a good example of why you think a parent would say, no, little Johnny.
I think I don't know if it's most parents, but I believe that the reason why we have this problem is because they want to live vicariously through their children, because their parents, you know, it's this trend of they didn't get to do what they wanted to do, so now they want their kids to, you know, like it's this thing.
When you say live vicariously, it's they want their children to do the things they wish they could have.
They wish they could have.
I think it
that's
goes
one
back.
reason.
And I think you're right, 100%.
And from the face of it, it could be a lot of things, and I'm sure it's gonna be a pretty simple thing. But I think of like,
pardon. Oh, 1 second.
Oh, it's still going. You just gotta log in.
Yeah, log in here. It's this. Sorry.
Technical difficulties.
Keep wiggling the mouse.
It did it.
He forgot to wiggle it. So
yeah. So living vicariously, and
that's a good reason.
I think a lot of them are just, some are jealous of the opportunities that their kids get, and they're not able to that they didn't have, or opportunities. Whether
I
it be
don't think
through-
they're consciously jealous. I'm not
No,
saying that
I don't
parents or
think-
humans are bad people. I'm
No.
saying like this internal instinct on why they would say no.
Well, and it's hard for me to know because I'm not a parent.
No,
You
I
know,
know.
so
I
I
think you're
don't
onto something,
understand. But from my perspective as it's really hard because I didn't really experience that with neither you or mom.
But you've had
You know.
friends that have parents, and
For sure.
we see movies, and
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of reasons. I think that's one. I think a big one is an adult or a parent. Let's say we'll stay with parents. I think that parents worry about their children's. They worry about whether or not their children are going to be successful because they worry about what the Joneses and the neighbors and family and sisters and aunts and
Status.
I mean, goddamn, people are so. I get so tired of hearing people put so much pressure on their kid about like how they're,
and it's
and I have no problem push a kid, like push them
Mhm.
beyond, right? But to do it because it's a status.
it's a
symbol.
status. It's
And I don't really want to go too far into it
Mhm.
because it'll offend a shit ton of people, but it is that, you know. I remember when you were young, I thought college education,
Mhm.
right? I mean, I had all these things laid out, and luckily I woke up and thought, well, I didn't grow up that way. Like, well, I did, but I rejected it.
Yeah.
As a child, I rejected what my parents tried to funnel me
Mhm.
into,
Mhm.
and I thought, you're a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
And at the end, I was just like, just graduate, man.
Yeah.
That's why I encouraged you to cheat.
Mhm.
Like you wanted to be homeschooled, and you sucked at math, and your best friend sucked at history or English, and y'all took the same courses. And I called his dad. I was like, listen, would you be cool if they just swapped? Like Dakota does all the English, Cole does all the math. I mean, they both have a fundamental basics in
Mhm.
both. They're both fine. Neither
Right.
one are going to be experts in, but you do one, he does the other. Y'all switch, divide, conquer. You graduate, you're done.
Yeah.
I don't know if it worked out quite that way. I think you may have done a lot more English than gotten math in return. But
Mhm.
the point was, for me, it was important for me to teach you, look, man, it's not cheating. It's outsmarting a broken system. The system's not really designed for you. It's designed for a population
Right.
to feed 7 billion people. Like our education system is designed to keep people off the streets. It's designed to like meet the basic needs. After that, not so much. What is the saying? I've heard some kind of saying that said, because I literally thought I was a loser my whole life when it come to education and intelligence. I just thought I was going to work for my parents
Yeah.
in a gas station.
Mhm.
I thought that was my future. And I was cool with it. I didn't give a shit. I was having fun. But I heard somebody say, and I'm going to botch it, but the B students the A students end up working for the B students.
Mhm.
The C students manage whatever. And anyways, the D students are the one that ends up owning the company,
Right.
you know?
Mhm.
And I thought about it. I mean, I realize people aren't as dumb as we think. They may not be very interested. They may not give a shit.
It's all based on interest.
It is. It really is.
And that
If you're-
the A B C D, F
Yeah.
system,
yeah.
what does that really measure?
Well,
know,
I mean, it feeds a
it-
population, so I'm not going to beat it up. I do think it's important to give people another option. And they try to. They do auto mechanics. They do building trades. They
Oh, yeah.
offer a lot of trade schools, which I think is important. And I really think they should embrace those and not look down on them. I think those trades should be as equal as any college career you can think of because they're all equally important.
Yes.
I wish that you can't teach entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
You just can't. It's a mind. It's a type of person that probably gets bored easily.
Mhm.
Right now, there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there. I wouldn't call them entrepreneurs, business owners that are not entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
And I think I don't know if there's a definition for it, but I think entrepreneurs are the type that build something to a certain point that they're like, well, this is working. I'm bored. Move on to something else. But we teach them that you should stick it out.
Mhm.
Now, why not pass it on?
Yeah.
Right. Why not say, well, hey, this is sustainable. Would you like to run it? I'm going to go do something else. And that's really how my entire life has been. And I've been judged my whole life because I never stuck with anything. But I never quit anything either. My hobbies, whether it be backpacking, kayaking, whatever, I learned everything you could possibly learn and become not necessarily an expert, but I learned it to the point that I got bored and moved on. And I don't see any difference between a hobby and a business. A business should be fun. It really should be fun. And as soon as it stops being fun, you should delegate those responsibilities and invest your effort into something that could be productive towards mankind. How can you produce more in life than you're consuming? If you're unhappy, you're always going to consume more than you produce, right?
Right.
I actually think it's the secret to old age, in my opinion. But I kind of went on a rant there, which is good. I kind of wanted a moment. I know it started with, I can remember where it started. It started with parents and holding kids back. And boy, I went down a rabbit hole.
I think ultimately I think individuals all have things, and people have things that they're interested in. And I think, allowing kids and teenagers, young adult, anybody.
How about encouraging?
Yeah, encouraging them to explore those paths.
Whatever. Well, I'm jumping in. I think it's important to encourage people to explore things they're interested in, because I don't think people are good at things they dislike. I think they grow to dislike things.
Yeah.
I think people are good at things they're passionate about. To me, passion is curiosity, a desire to know more about something or someone. So I think it's important to, I'll finish with saying, I'll finish that with saying, I think it's important to encourage people to follow their passions. When I say passions, I'm saying things they're interested in. I think passion is is another way of saying curiosity. And then I was going to jump to something else. What was I going to say? It'll come back to me. Shit, I had a good one too. It was right there and I lost it. That's why I'm afraid to not say it when I think it, because I know I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
It'll come back though. What was I saying before that? It was right there. My brain doesn't work that well. My brain, I struggle to have these thoughts and process this information. But whatever. Fuck, I can't remember what it was. What was you talking about? Maybe it'll come back to me.
I think it should be summarized. It's like just what you said. This whole, I think, because we could go on forever.
It had something to do with passion.
Passion,
which is part of my formula.
Encouraging. Passion.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. You're getting me back. It was something about being good at the things we're passionate about. And it's gone. Fuck it. Moving on. I can't remember. It was there, man. It was there. It really was. And it's, I would love to draw it right now, but how important passion is in life.
For sure.
I'm not saying invest all your eggs in one basket of passion and you're going to be okay. That's insane.
Yeah.
Your passions should be your hobby. I'm not even saying invest too much in relationships. That should almost be a hobby. Date as many people as possible. I've always said that. And unfortunately, I didn't mean to say unfortunately. I don't want to. You decided you dated just enough when you were young to realize who you loved and what's best for you. And it's perfect for you. God dang it. I don't want to. Can we edit this? I want to edit this because I don't want to put anybody on the spot. You know what I mean? I want to cut this part out.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't want to bring up your relationship. I don't want to put doubt in my girlfriend's mind. I just kind of had a moment that I couldn't talk my way out of that.
Yeah, no.
God bless. I about fucked that up. Well, I was talking about passion.
Passion.
So I wanted to keep talking about passion so we have a cut point.
Yeah.
What? Are you enjoying this?
I've been laughing the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm doing good.
It's pretty cool. This is awesome.
He was like,
Yeah, we go like it starts getting a little. It's like whoa. Maybe now I'm feeling the. I can
Now you
stay
feeling
on
what?
track.
Now you feeling what?
It's kind of like everywhere. Maybe now I feel it.
You feel good?
I feel good, but it's
Yeah,
kind of
it
like
takes a
the
minute.
topics. It's kind of like I'm almost getting lost at this point, but it's not because of what we're talking about. Like I know the topic we're talking about.
Well,
but
this
it's a little bit-
complicates things.
Yeah.
I mean, the headphones, they're uncomfortable. The microphones.
No, I like that.
Really?
I like all this.
Well, it's part of it. You got to have it. But
But yes.
you know what I love about this more than anything? I mean, there's a lot of things that I love, but I'm doing it with my kids.
Right.
How fucking weird is that? I know it doesn't. I know it's not weird to you, but it's weird to me. I've if I ever grew up with people that had a close bond with their parents,
Mhm.
they were either weird ass family, you're like, they were just odd.
Right.
But at the same time, I had some kind of level of respect. I thought they have something special.
Mm-hmm.
And then very rarely there was the type of really close family that were just cool. And, I'm not a easygoing dad. I demand a high level of respect
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily output. I kind of want you guys to make your own way, but I don't know, just for the fact that y'all want to be involved in this is
Mhm.
fucking weird. It really is weird. It's not weird to you guys as
Right.
much as it is to me. But hell, you've had friends, and so I guess it is weird for you too, because it's odd to see sons and dad, want to be a part of something like this. Sit down and have a conversation
Mhm.
with their own child.
Yeah.
That's kind of unusual.
Well, and I've had some. A few of my friends have asked, if I was going to be on the podcast, and it is a weird dynamic, knowing our history, but that I am actively wanting to be involved in this and stuff, because I guess it's different on the outside. Like you were saying, like you had friends and it was kind of weird, but you respected it. I can't relate because I'm living it. I live it.
Yeah.
So for me to have that outside opinion looking in, I don't have it.
What do your friends think about it?
Well, the podcast is awesome.
Are they
I think.
excited about it?
Yeah. They were just wondering, when I was going to do it. And obviously,
Sooner than
So-
they expected.
yeah.
It was a good time. Sorry to put it on you like this. This
no,
quick.
no. I think they're excited, and I'm actually really excited because a lot of my friends don't really know the relationship that
Oh,
we
yeah.
have.
Yeah.
So,
Do you try to explain it?
yes, and I
Yeah.
think it's I think them watching us communicate will help that.
Yeah.
Because usually if my friends are around, I'm always gone. So and even growing up, it was kind of just we didn't really communicate.
Me and
it was-
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't communicate this way.
No, not at all.
You were preached to.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of them seen
Mhm.
seen the early days,
Yeah.
and then now they're confused. They're
Well-
like, what?
Maybe that's a good testimony to show how much people can change.
Yeah.
It's just you probably spent your 10 years of your life talking shit about me. He's a son of a bitch. I agree. It's the way I was raised, I had an amazing father, but he was a son of a bitch. And you replicate that. You as a parent,
Right.
you emulate, what you know.
Yeah.
And I got lucky. I married the woman I did,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't, she'd get on to me when I was a dick for no reason.
Yeah.
But she didn't change me. She did help me, but ultimately I think what helped me is I was always trying to fix people. Like, you can do better,
Mhm.
right? Or point out your flaws,
Right.
not just yours, but just in general, just
Yeah.
people in general. Like, trying to change people around me
Mm-hmm.
to suit my needs
Right.
is a nice way of saying it, but ultimately people try to change people.
Yeah.
People fall in love with who they meet.
Mm-hmm.
They fall in love with everything about them, the quirks, the things that drive them crazy. And as soon as they get in some form of a contractual relationship of any kind, they start to change you.
Right.
And I started observing that. And I thought I could change people. I thought, it's so simple. Why can't you see this is what you're doing wrong? I was even right.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
Right. Delivery.
Yeah, delivery and not even delivery. The bottom line is you cannot, nor should you try to change anyone.
Mm-hmm.
If that's who they are, encourage it.
Yeah.
Don't ask them to be something that you need.
Mm-hmm.
So I started realizing, oh shit, I can change. I can change. I can't change anyone, but I can change me.
Mm-hmm.
And I started just reading. You know, I never read a damn book in my life. And thank God YouTube come along because I didn't have to read all of them anyways.
Yeah.
Audio books on YouTube was my
Right.
thing in the beginning. But I started realizing I was wrong.
It starts with the man in the mirror.
Is that the thing?
That's what
Is that a
Michael
Michael
Jackson
song?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. Well, in some ways, I guess he was wise, or somebody wrote that song. But ultimately, I started getting excited
Mm-hmm.
about it. I think if people know the old me and they get to know the new me, they know I'm still the same person.
Mm-hmm.
But even my family thought I was losing my mind. My sisters, my mom, my dad, like all of them.
Yeah.
Because man, I was so excited about all these things I was learning. But it was all about I was learning all the things I was doing wrong. I was learning about all my mistakes, and I started like getting excited about hearing about what I'm doing wrong because now I can fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought about this. I thought every time you find out you're wrong, you're that much smarter.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very shitty way of saying it, but to find out you're wrong about something, it simply means that you've gained new knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So once I got that concept, I wasn't in fear of being wrong. Everybody's always worried about being wrong. But anyways, I know I'm digressing, whatever. I'm saying I started working on myself. I said all that to say I started working on myself. What do we call it? We called it self-awareness. Or
Self-discovery.
Self-discovery. That's where people become new people. They
Right.
They evolve.
Mhm.
They become enlightened.
Yeah.
Right? Eckhart Tolle. When I read the book about Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, like I always hear people talk about these books that changed their life, and I shut the fuck up. No book changed your life, and it didn't change mine, but it made me think about some things.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I don't want to become Eckhart Tolle. I don't want to be so self-aware that I am this Zen master.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still like me. I still want to be me with a heightened sense of awareness.
An insight.
Insight. Yeah, I still want to be relatable. Like, who the fuck's going to hang out with Eckhart Tolle at Toots? Nobody. Nobody. Like, I still like to joke, and I still, like I said, I want to be me. I mean, this dude nearly had a stroke or some shit, and then he's seen everything. And yes, he has a lot of amazing insight, but he's more like a monk. Like, who wants to hang out with a monk?
Mm-hmm.
No, I still want to enjoy life.
Still have fun. And
Yeah. So,
well, I think that plays hand in hand, like going out and having fun because you open up more mistakes for more self-discovery and enlightenment. And it's like you need both. Like that's what's going to continue your journey is because if you don't take the risks, there's not going to be that much more self-enlightenment or self-discovery. And you have to keep going and understanding, like you were saying, you started looking into your own mistakes.
yeah.
Imagine if you just never did that,
And not even looking into it. I wanted to expose them because I realized we're unaware of the mistakes we make.
Mm-hmm.
We're unaware of the bad habits we make.
Yep.
We're unaware of it until someone that's been affected by it brings it to our attention.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're not open to wanting to hear what we've done wrong, we go into a state of denial, and denial is this very powerful thing.
Well, it's hard to...
Well, denial, no one wants to hear what they're doing
Exactly.
wrong.
And it's very hard to handle that. And I still struggle with it, but I believe it. In your opinion, does it get easier? As
Does
you know,
what get it? Hearing your fuck yeah, you get to where you're addicted.
yeah, to
Yeah,
wondering.
I'm never offended.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get annoyed because sometimes people want to give me advice that I don't think you should ever give advice to people that's not asking for it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. If they're not asking for your opinion, shut the fuck up. That was my problem. People would tell me their problem, but they didn't ask my opinion. I think it's really important that they say, well, what do you think? Mm-hmm. Bam, you're in there, dog. Now you can spill it. Mm-hmm. You can tell them all the secrets to life and how the solar system works, and that you got them in the palm of your hand. But until they let you in,
mm-hmm.
until they want your opinion, you need to shut the fuck up, because all you're going to do is just close them down more.
Right.
And that was a hard thing for me to learn. Adam was talking to me about it the other night. Like, well, what is he was trying to ask me. He wasn't asking me what my gift was, but what is it about you that allows you to get in? Why do
mm-hmm.
people let you in? And it's always in development. Like, maybe by the time I'm 70, I can talk to Moses. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Right. But I'm always practicing shutting the fuck up mm-hmm. until someone. It's hard too. I'm sitting there like, just ask me. Just ask one question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I learned by offering the advice unsolicited. Is that
mm-hmm.
the word, the terminology? It just shuts people down. But you had said something that made me think about something. You were talking about struggles and mistakes, and
mm-hmm.
for some reason I wanted to go into potential, because I was thinking about it on the way home. I was
mm-hmm.
thinking about what we're capable of. And does this relate? What were you talking about that made me think about how this could possibly relate?
We were talking about the mistakes and how recently it's how it helped you in your self-discovery and stuff like that. But potential, it's...
Go ahead.
It almost... Your potential's always there.
It is
unlocks.
what it is. Yeah.
Like, it unlocks whenever...
I think we have unlimited, untapped potential.
Mm-hmm.
I think, okay, you've been told maybe you've not been told it, but you've heard your whole life, you should live up to your potential,
mm-hmm.
or she's wasting their potential. It's like it's like the ancient philosophers, like the people that wrote the Bible,
mm-hmm.
right? These Greek philosophers had it figured out tens of thousands of years ago, and we've just kind of forgot. or I think that people before television, radio,
mm-hmm.
those things came along, maybe even before books, before the Gutenberg press was not discovered, but created. I think that people spent more time here in their imagination. I think that education was entertainment.
Yes.
Let's say when books come along, I think that was the internet.
Right.
Right? So self-discovery was normal a few thousand years ago, a few hundred years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when the television came along and the radio, we started listening to, I think it's important, our form of entertainment, like a distraction from life. But I think that we've also lost...
lost that sense of discovery.
Yeah.
Everything's all connected. If you ever want to know anything, it's instantly right
phone.
there.
Yeah. And it's little things like nip it in the bud
mm-hmm.
is a complex. We use it in every day. You got to nip it in the bud. Like, people say all these incredibly intelligent comments, but they don't know what the fuck it means. People don't know what the fuck they mean.
Yeah, it's just on the surface level.
People say shit out of habit. They don't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just out of habit because it was regurgitated to them
mm-hmm.
their whole life. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, we were talking about potential and
mm-hmm.
expanding potential. I don't know. I kind of like that part of it, talking about, how we've kind of lost touch with education, like true discovery. Oh, well, okay, nobody fucking asked why.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. And I think it has something to do with the school systems.
Mm-hmm.
I think children are wildly curious until the age of 5 years old, right? A kid can be super annoying. Why, Dad? Why? Like they're
Genuinely curious.
Oh my God, yes. But that curiosity gets smothered out because it's not really part of the school system's plan, and that's kind of what I was talking about. Like, we suppress curiosity. They don't. They get to where they're like, look, there's not enough time in the day to answer all these fucking questions. Don't worry about why. Worry about what.
Yeah.
What you need to study is this. Quit asking why, because honestly, people are too afraid to answer why. They don't have the answers.
Well,
you know. So I think that the education system has.
What's wrong, Brennan?
Son of a bitch. I was talking about the education system being like they snuff out stuff, whatever. They kill curiosity.
They kill curiosity,
creativity.
but also I think another thing too is that kids don't want to learn.
When I say they
don't want, like,
when I say they, I mean the system.
The system
that we've developed is a two-sided coin. It feeds 7 billion people, but it's really had a massive impact on creative thinking.
Right.
Creative thinking is why.
Yeah.
Why is the greatest word on the planet. It's the only word that matters to me. It's the only word. I don't give a shit if you're religious or scientific. You cannot argue that human beings are the only species that has ever existed, that we're aware of, that has ever used the word why.
Yeah.
Or the idea of why. Every other animal does it for food, to get laid, procreation, or a basic curiosity of having fun, to push a marble, you know, but nobody gives a shit. No other species ever asked why.
Yeah. And
that is creative thinking at its core, and we kill it in kindergarten.
Yep.
Well, we kind of nurture it in kindergarten, but in the first grade, shit, no. And now it's Common Core. Oh, my Jesus, we're going to have some stupid motherfuckers running around that know how to add 2 times 28 for no fucking reason.
Right.
Who gives a shit, man? Like, this, I don't want to get into that.
I think and what I was going to say, I think it kills the idea and at least for me, personally, how I felt growing up in the system is after school, I didn't want to learn nothing. Like, when I got home, no more learning today, you know? So I didn't, until I got older, really homeschool and I started doing some, of course, I of course wanted to learn things I was interested in, but
games actually worked for you.
Yes.
Video games, actually, there's 2 sides to that coin.
Right.
But games were a benefit to you.
I think so.
And all of us, I think.
Well, I think so, not just in the sense of, like, learning to communicate with people, you know, and kids nowadays do it all the time, but when I was younger, you know, being able to have access to people all over the world, and, like, that was kind of me learning just society and what to do and working with a team more so than doing a project in school or, you know, because I was genuinely excited about a game, you know, it was something I was interested in. So imagine if growing up, if I was in a music class, you know, I would have loved it to learn that, you know. But another thing too, I think learning to love learning, it creates things for myself. Whenever you bring up an idea or an ideology, I'm generally interested because I see how it could connect, and that's the thing that we're missing is that.
I agree. I want to jump in and say I say a lot of things changed in my life. Whether I was lucky, I don't know what it was, but I know when I was 9 years old, I was in the 4th grade, and I discovered the art of cheating.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the girl named Jennifer that sat next to me, but she wound up being, I think, a valedictorian. Like, wicked smart.
Right.
And this girl genuinely loved to learn shit at school.
Right.
It just wasn't for me. Like, she was designed for it. If she's not a scientist somewhere, then I'd be shocked. But I started cheating on her. I could, and then it'd be A, B. I'll miss that one on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
make it a lot.
I just want a D. I just want a D. And I started cheating in the 4th grade, and I never stopped. I got so good at it. And I realized everything I learned from, really, I would say by the 6th grade, I was so good at cheating. Everything else I learned from that point on until I went to college and dropped out within 3 weeks of that because I realized this is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
This is easy.
Yeah.
It really was easy.
Right.
I didn't know shit. I didn't know how to do algebra.
Mm-hmm.
I took a fucking 0 in algebra. I
Right.
took a 0 in Spanish
Mm-hmm.
just because I couldn't cheat my way through them.
Right.
But the other ones I was like, fuck it, I'm going to applied math.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was basic math. And I honestly do believe that we need the fundamentals. We need to know arithmetic.
Right.
Not algebra. If you like algebra, good for you. I think it's important. I think it's a wonderful tool, and I love algebra.
Right.
Here's the funny thing. All the things I thought were stupid as a kid
Mm-hmm.
are still stupid today, but I have access to it.
Mm-hmm.
I figured out how to learn, not what to
Exactly.
learn. Once I have an idea or once I have a goal, I'm like, all right, bitch, where's
Mhm.
the information? Oh, I got to know calculus? I don't.
Right.
But if I need geometry, and I use geometry all my like, dude, oh my God, Ohm's law, like there's so many scientific facts that I know that I didn't learn in school. I needed something.
Right.
I wanted something in life, and I thought, well, fuck. And it's so easy now. Like, information's everywhere. I just open my phone up.
Well, and I what you're saying, it's like cheating, but like shortcuts. It's like a shortcut.
I believe in
Oh,
cheating. The
because-
smartest motherfuckers cheat.
Because and this is like a story about English class in high school, and we had to do a paper and about a certain country and their food. So I was like, okay, and I got like I don't even remember what country I got, but it was like this certain type of food. So our teacher was like, okay, you're gonna do research, you're gonna do all this, you're gonna write a paper about it and everything. I called the country. I called a restaurant. I looked up a restaurant and called them. And I was looking at their menu. That's how I was getting in the class. And she didn't like that, but
That was creative thinking.
but that's how I would do things, you know? It's like, yes, we had the book and everything, but do you want me to write a paper about the food in this country? I'm going to go ask them from the source, from the people. And I don't know. That's just kind of how it was really a tongue-in-cheek type of thing because I knew what I was doing was a little, you know, but I just wanted, that's just how I do things, you know?
What's fucked up is that I'm so glad that I didn't have a chance to snuff that out. And your mom really embraced that. And what's weird is it took me a minute to realize it's exactly, had I had access, I would have done the same thing.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't tell you I cheated, did I? Did I ever come clean about it?
Not in
You're a
that
little bit
time.
older?
Yeah, I was a
So
little bit older.
He was, how old were you, Brennan, when I talked to you about it? When I caught him cheating.
Mm-hmm.
He come home with a bunch of math work. And this was like the deciding factor.
Right.
When did you start homeschool? So
Yeah, he was
I
young.
said, let me see your homework. He opens up his math and all these answers, and I said, well, how'd you get them? I just got them.
Oh, I just got it.
You know,
Mhm.
the only thing I'm going to be pissed about is lying.
Right.
Like, just don't lie to me.
Mhm.
Do whatever you got to do. Don't lie. And I was like, don't bullshit me. Did you cheat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, dude, how long you been cheating?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because I've been cheating. I think I asked him, how long you been cheating?
Mm-hmm.
Since the 5th grade. I said, well, bitch, I've been cheating since the 4th.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, look, if you don't, look, do you even like going to school? He's like, no. I mean, he loved school. He loved his friends.
Right.
But I was like, if all you're doing is bullshit and getting to this, like, this is a waste of your time.
Right.
Like, if you're doing what I did, we can homeschool. You was already homeschooled at the time. But you were
Yeah.
going through a proper high dollar, you know, one of
Yeah.
the fancy schools where it didn't need my help. I was like,
Right.
I'll homeschool you. I'll do it my fucking self.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
I pulled him. I asked Landon. Landon, the first day of kindergarten,
Mhm.
he was excited.
Mhm.
He went to school and said, fuck that.
Yep.
Never again.
Mm-mm.
One day of kindergarten, he's like, it's not for me, Mom. we thought something was wrong with the kid.
Mhm.
He hated school.
Yeah.
Hated it. So, and even kindergarten. So anyways, so I decided to homeschool myself. I was
Right.
like, fuck it, I can do this my damn self. I look at me. I'm not a loser. I mean, I thought I was going to be a loser, but I figured it out. So I put him in a program.
I don't think growing up I ever thought like I didn't really mind. The only reason I wanted the grades was to make sure you were happy.
Well, I thought,
You know?
I hope you do understand. And I know you don't have, you're never going to experience what, you have a very unusual life. And in some ways, you're the luckiest
Mm-hmm.
because it could have went so bad for you.
Right.
It really could
Oh,
have.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
We just got lucky. And we
Yeah.
really, really did. Because I was very much grades, education, whatever you get in scholarship funds, I'll match. Like I had this whole creative way of encouraging you to get good grades. And you never got bad grades.
Mm-hmm.
The point was, is at some point right before the end, probably your 10th, 11th grade,
Right.
is when I started,
Mm-hmm.
they started being homeschooled.
Yep.
Let's see, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th grade. That was
Mm-hmm.
11th grade was the year that I changed.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
went. Yeah, I went back to school. So I was homeschooled my 10th grade year and my 12th grade
Yep.
because I had went back.
But your 10th grade year, I was still pretty hard on you about doing your, like,
Yes.
get your grades, and you did good.
Mhm.
But you know what you learned from doing that? I didn't help you.
Mm-hmm.
You did it all by yourself and your teachers. Like, I mean,
Right.
I tried to help, but I couldn't do that shit.
It was more like almost like a
It was
college
very much
program.
Keystone.
Yeah, not in the curriculum, but in the way it was set up.
Yeah.
They just kind of gave you all the work and was like, "Hey,
But you had to
finish
figure it
it
out
by
for
this
yourself.
time." You
God,
know?
what you learned from that, being forced to do something you hated,
Yeah.
I couldn't have done
Well,
it.
because
I would have cheated.
well, and
Did you cheat?
I mean, I was on the internet.
Okay.
And I knew of the internet. Like,
Yeah.
I was on it my whole life, so I kind of knew my workaround. But there was some stuff I was really interested in, and I learned a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
to be sure I got it, because I was like, okay, I have economics. Could I get this whole year done in 2 weeks? Like, I would do
remember
that
that.
type of thing, and I would
Yeah.
get it. I would just grind just to knock
Wow.
it out.
You know, I think because you said that, it reminds me of something. I racked my brain for probably years. Why the fuck companies cared about a diploma or an education?
Mhm.
And I thought about it. Well, I think it proves that you're capable of doing shit you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I think it shows that. I don't think this is why people are hiring. I think that it's maybe part of it. Like, what is the purpose of a diploma? Well, it proves that you can do a lot of redundant and unnecessary bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect for me. Get on the line and crank out these parts for 8
Right.
fucking hours,
Mm-hmm.
which is important. I've got no problem with that. I worked in a factory for 4 days and said, keep the check.
Yeah.
I ain't coming back. I just couldn't do it. But you know what, though? I truly admire people that can. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of people that can do that thing, spend the weekends
Oh.
grilling out. Like, fuck,
Trust
they've
me.
got something.
I'm feeling that-
so envious.
I feel that too in my position. I've been self-employed for a few years now, and having my friends, yes, they work a lot and everything, and for years I was barely making it. I was barely scraping by, and I would always admire that they are able to go and work like that. Listen, I could barely make a 3-hour shift at Best Buy without almost losing my mind. Like, I didn't want to be there. And no, I truly admire, like, even you, Mom, and even Brennan, that it's amazing. I wish, because my life would have been a lot easier. Trust me, if I was able to just kind of do that and try to build my business at the same time, I would have had a lot less stress. But that just wasn't me. And I didn't go to college or anything like that, but that was just my path, and I don't hold anybody, I don't look at anybody any different if they're on their paths,
Mm-hmm.
and, but no, it would have definitely been a lot easier if I would have just,
I'm glad you said that. There's no wrong path.
no, not
You
at
just
all.
need to be on a path.
On a path.
and be open to life saying, what about that?
I think
What
it's
about that?
as long as you're moving in a direction.
Yeah.
As long as because
no wrong way.
if movement is life, that's a big thing. It's a big quote.
Is it third law? Newton's third law?
Mm-hmm.
Which one? What is it? Mm-hmm. Newton's third law? Newton's third law, I think, is, Brennan, look it up. Newton's third law
Object
is
in motion.
tends to stay in
Tends
motion.
to stay
I
in
didn't want to
motion.
fuck that up, but yeah. But I also believe the opposite of that is equally true. An object not in motion is a motherfucker to get started.
Oh, for sure.
When I get, like, when I don't have a lot going on in life, I don't think I've ever suffered from depression in the way that I have friends that I know have. But for depression for me would be not being productive.
Right.
And I would get set up to where I was making all this money and I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, okay, money's coming in. Like, it doesn't require, I would get, like, my stomach would just constantly be fucked up. I'm like, when I say fucked up, I mean, it would burn.
It burned,
Which
yeah.
was cortisol. Cortisol being released around my stomach saying, get up, be productive. And I was tired. I was constantly tired. Couldn't get up, couldn't, hurt. Everything fucking hurt. Right?
Yeah.
Why didn't we say that? Why did I bring that up? That was, you said something that made me think about that.
Well, and I can definitely relate to what you're talking about.
I don't know why I said it, but anyways, it felt important at the time. I shouldn't drink when I do these. Yeah, I mean, I like to drink because it kind of calms me down a little bit, but I think my brain's just like a mud.
Right. Well, going back to the whole like feeling, the depression of the laziness and stuff, like I definitely experienced that, and in the past 2 to 3 years I really experienced it because I spent
It's important, man.
it is very important.
No, but you got to experience the lazy. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Well,
sorry.
no, the ups and downs about it, because while you're going through it, it's you can't think about it in that sense of like, this is important, because when it's happening, you're like,
Fucked about it.
yeah, but well, I spent so long because I didn't want to go to Best Buy and work an 8-hour shift, or I didn't want to go and do these other things. So I worked really, really hard to make it where I can get by and not work as much. But then it had a very bad side effect, because there were days where, I wouldn't have anything to do. And I realized that, I think most people are, though. Me personally, I have to be doing something. Like today, I only had to get a haircut today. And I've been pretty busy this past week with photo shoots and editing and stuff like that. And like you were saying, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. I was on a grind. I was feeling it.
That's why we talked about that.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I knew there was a reason why I went down that. Okay, go ahead.
But today, it's like I hit that wall of like, today is my day off and I'm not going to do anything. But even just going and getting a haircut was so hard. Like, it's like I hit that where I wasn't doing anything today. So it was really hard to get me to go. But once I start, if I have a photo shoot and then my week's full of work, I'm honestly my happiest when I'm just going. Even though it might be stressful, I feel really good. That's the zone, my zone.
Good. I've got 5 fast-paced videos that need to be edited
right now.
Today. Well, I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to be on an airplane.
Well, I'll
Do what?
It's been an hour and 3 minutes.
Wow, really?
Are you trying to cut us off?
Are you done, Brennan?
You got a video game to go play?
He's got something to do.
Sorry, guys.
It's
Can I turn the
over.
camera around
Our producer said it's over.
How long's it been?
An hour and 5 minutes.
An hour and 5 minutes. I'm sorry.
It's.
I don't care.
I mean,
I don't
what
think we
time
can
is it?
revisit this.
Fine.
Well, we got nobody to switch back and forth.
I can do it if you want to go.
He's got to go play. What is that game you play? Oh, he's getting phone calls.
Oh, okay.
Let's see who it is.
That's it. Oh, you know what?
Damn.
It's already past 5. I mean, I got it.
All right, yeah, we got shit to do. Sorry to cut it off that way. Hey, man, it's our first time.
It
though.
was our first time.
Hey,
That
we
was-
killed
that
it.
was good.
Yeah, good job.
I
Love
can't
you, man.
believe-
Love you.
Time flies in this.
Yeah. I hope this was interesting for you guys. We're just figuring it out as we go. I know I haven't really said that, and we don't know what we're doing. We just thought it was important that we did something, and in some way, cover your headphones up because I can hear it back through it. In some way, I just want. I mean, man, you can do whatever you want, man. Right?
Yeah.
And I just want to encourage people to do something, produce something. I don't give a fuck if it's chiseling some statue or painting a painting or getting a microphone and breathing heavily in it, doing some, what is that stuff called? Where they talk or whisper in the mic. What is that called?
ASMR. Yeah.
ASMR. Do that. I don't care. Just do something. Do something that provides value in someone's life, and you're going to be a happy motherfucker. I promise you. Anyways, peace out. Until next time, we'll sign off here.
Peace.
Peace.
Take care.
All right, kill.